Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are doing a kitchen tour. So this is my baking kitchen. It's a kitchen extension off of the main area, so it is kind of all one, so I can walk around to the oven, stuff like that. But it's all like my worktop and cupboards underneath. So I'm going to be going through my cupboards, how I kind of organise. I'll quickly show you in the fridge, and then I've got a few things on top of the fridge as well. The fridge is just here, and then this whole section that we are currently on is the worktop. There's little drawers which I keep little bits in, so I'm going to, when I get started, I'm going to turn you around and I'll be talking you through all of my storage. I will try and say where I get things from. I won't be able to link them probably because some things may be old, but I'll tell you where I got things from so that hopefully you can find something either similar or the same. So yes, and anything that I know is still available I will link, but anything that I can't find you will probably have to find yourself. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and if there's any videos relating to baking or kitchen or business, then please let me know. I have got a list, but I keep getting requests, so I add those onto the list or I prioritise them. So this one was one of those. It was on the list, but I sort of moved it to the top because quite a few people asked for it. So yes, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to turn you around. So this is as you walk in, so this is the main kitchen, and then you walk through into the extension, so there's just some chairs, and then this is all my area. So the fridge is shared with me and my sister. I've put the ring light here to try and make it a bit brighter, so I'm hoping that helps. So this drawer is an ironing board, and then these four here are for my baking stuff, and then these two here are personal, just like normal food. Then up there, there's some little baking bits, more like cake dummies, and then that's just more personal food. So we're going to go through a little bit of the fridge, just like a sneak peek. Then we'll go through everything that's on top, all of the cupboards, and all of these drawers here. So I think we're going to start with what's currently on top. So here we have sprinkles, then in here we've got flavourings. So I've got lemon extract, vanilla, all of my luster dusters, which is all like these dusts. I've got some gold leaf in there, more dust, and then some of these are little packets, and then some of them are little jars. Then I've just got my opening checks there. This is my paperwork, so it's got all my recipes, allergen information, all that in there. I've got a whiteboard which I sometimes work out splits of ingredients, so like if I'm halving a recipe I can write it on there. Then we have my KitchenAid, so I have it plugged in behind there to hide any wires. I do bring it out like so, so it's a bit angled, and it means that you can then lift the lid, whereas if it's butted up against, then you won't be able to lift the back of that off. So then we've got all my spatulas. So in here we've got whisks, I've got a temperature probe even though I don't need one, then I've just got spatulas, palette knives, scrapers are in there as well. Here I've just got some wipes. They say microwave, fridge and freezer wipes, but I sometimes just use them to wipe up any little like bits of residue, and then I can wipe down the surface with my actual disinfectant afterwards. I just use it to wipe up any little spills. Then I've got some hand gel which I bought the other day. This is actually from the range. I would definitely recommend it because it's really cheap. Then I've just got a whiteboard, little wiper. Then in here is all my food colouring, so you can see from the side. There's a few Wilton ones, the rest are like Pro Gel and Colour Splash, which is like so. So most of my scrapers and palette knives and things like that, and my spatulas are from either B&M and the range. I got this set of blue and then the set of pink as well. I got both of those from B&M, and then I think I got some of the plain colours from the range. Then I've got a little personalised wooden spoon which is from Etsy. The KitchenAid was from Currys. Then we've just got the worktop, which I like to keep as clean and clear as possible. I try not to have too much stuff on there. Obviously when I'm baking there's lots of stuff on there, but then as soon as that's cleared away I try and get rid of everything. Then here I just have a week at a glance planner. So as you can see, it's got all of the days of the week, any notes. I haven't filled it out for this week because I was just super busy and forgot. Then there's some revision notes. This is more for like revision, but I just go over that and obviously use it for just general notes. Any dates like collections to write down. Then we're moving around to the side. So this is just all my random bits which I want to keep organised in a sense. So here I've got some little new stamps which I got recently, so I haven't found a place for those yet. Then I've got a stapler for when I staple cake boxes and lids together. Then I've just got loads of miscellaneous bits, so brushes, fondant tools, scissors. Then this is a glass where I put in all of my nets. So these are nets that you can put out and then cover food with. So these are some spare cloths. Then I've got all my jumbo straws. I use these for 2-tier cakes, so they're all in there. Then I've got some lollipop sticks which can be used as dowels. Then I've got some fondant stamps, a few little miscellaneous cutouts. This tray was from Dunelm, and you can also get them stamped like already done. The ones that are already done I think are B&M, but the ones that you do yourself were Dunelm, and then you get the stickers separately. Then this is just a little squeezy bottle. I sometimes use it for drips. Then in here, if you can see, I've got all my fondant letter cutters. Then behind here I have some elbow grease spray which I use like if I'm doing a deep clean of the oven. Then in here we have all my stamps. So I've got baby feet. I've got some new ones actually, for Santa, Merry Christmas, and then these ones are just like normal stamps, so they are all in there. I couldn't fit the snowflake ones in there, that's why they're not in there yet. These are all my cupcake cases. So all of these are pretty much from Amazon. I think these ones are from eBay. These ones that you can tell don't really go in a set, and like the red ones don't go in a set, whereas all of these came as a giant set on Amazon, so they were really, really good. And the same with these yellow fondant tools, they were Amazon. These were eBay. The jumbo straws were Amazon. These nets were eBay, and it was a set of 3, so they were really, really cheap. I have a mini rolling pin which I use for fondant, and my cupcake cases, these PME ones, which are these, they have foil on the inside like so. These are from Amazon, but I definitely wouldn't recommend them because the back of them gets really stuck to other cases, so you end up losing half of your cases because they all get stuck together. I would recommend these. They're just Tesco's sell them. They're Dr. Onka, and they are muffin cases. These are the plain white ones. I also have the multicoloured ones there, so they just sit in there if I can get them back in. There we go. So in here is just some more miscellaneous bits. So these are some Halloween sprinkles I have left over. They last till 2022, as you can see there. So I'm just keeping them in here until next year. Then I've got some leftover eyes, so they keep until 21. So I might use those on Christmas bits. So I've got some reindeer cupcakes, so I can use them on those. Then we've got lollipop sticks in the bottom of there, which are for cake pops. I've got some stars, again they're 2021, they have a sticker on. That's how I label my things. If they don't have a wrapper, then I put stickers on like that. Then in here we just have any cookie cutters, like so. And then there's also some moulds in here, which you can use for chocolate. So they just go back in there. Then in here is where I keep all my piping bags. So these two are reusable. These ones are all disposable, and then here's all my nozzles. So most of these are from a set, but I do have these 3, which are Wilton. So this one is for roses, it's the 1B, and it's quite a big one, as you can see. Mine's a little bit bent, which I'm not really happy about, so I'm going to have to get another one, because they do seem to bend over time. Then this one is 2A, which can just be used for the solid ring piping. And then this one is another star one, it's for smaller roses. So this is 2D, which is the one that I saw, and then I got recommended when I first started, but then I realised it was actually 1B that I needed. And then these are just lots of little random ones, which I got in a set of Amazon. They're not amazing, but they definitely help. And they're good to have as a little set. So that's what's in there. Just try and get that all back in there now. Then in here, we have more miscellaneous bits. So these are just some Christmas cupcake cases. Then I've got my paddles, so when they're not on the KitchenAid, I just shove them in here. I've also got a smoother underneath there for fondant. These are silicone cupcake cases, so if I know that I'm making them for just like a family get-together or something, then I just use these. These are mini ones, just because then I'm not wasting cupcake cases. So that is what's in that last drawer. These mats I got, I believe, from Dunelm. I will try and find them. I think it was Dunelm. So these are like chopping board mats, but as you can see, they're very flimsy. So they're perfect for fondant because you can have it on there, let it dry, and then you can bend it and just pick the fondant off. So it's not like a hard surface where you have to almost damage your fondant, especially if it's soft, to then get it off. I also use these for brownies. So I put the brownies on there, cut them on there because it's a nice chopping board. It doesn't scratch or anything, as you can see. There's no marks on them. So yeah, I find that you don't get as much like bacteria in them as a normal chopping board, because when you have a normal chopping board and it scratches, then bacteria can get in there. So they just slide down the side there. Then down here, so it's kind of like a little section off of the worktop. So this is where I keep all my tins. So here I have these pre-cut little parchment papers. So as you can see, there is some 6-inch ones and there's some 8-inch. So I just slot those in here, if they all fit. So this is my 8 brownie tin, so it's a longer one. Then I've got a 4 one there. Then I haven't actually used this yet, but I've got a 5-inch tin. Then I've got my 4-inch ones, then 6, and then 8 in there. As you can see, there's some 8s in there, and then this one is a 10. These are what I use for my mini Victoria sponges, and they can also be used for like cheesecakes, that kind of thing. And then this is a cake picker-upper. I don't know what it's called, but you can use it like that, pick up your cake. I actually never use it, I usually just pick up my cake. But yeah, I got that from the range. And then my little tins, these ones, were from B&M and the range. And then the 5-inch one was B&M. The brownie trays were Tesco's. These were Tesco's. The 10-inch one was Tesco's. And then I've got some 8-inch ones, which you can see there, which are great. And they, I think, were either Amazon or Tesco's. But yeah, all my tins are nice, sturdy, good tins. So I think I'd definitely recommend getting some good ones. So that is everything that is on top. So we're going to move to the drawers now, I think. Just moving the light. I've had to put the lead across here, so... Right, so we're going to start in this first one here. So, in here, I have bulk ingredients, bowls, big things, like big bulky items. So, in here, most of this is unstarted. The only thing that started is this big bag of sugar. So we'll take that out so that you can see. So we've got all my milks. These are also personal, so I drink oat milk myself, but I also keep it in here because a lot of my bakes also have it if I do vegan bakes. Then this is my self-raising flour. This is, all of these bags are 1.5 kg. I do usually buy a big bag, which you can see at the back there, but these are plain flour. I'm planning to buy a big bag of plain flour soon, but obviously I've got all those to get through. Whereas this is self-raising, so I always buy big bags of self-raising because I get through that more. Then here is actually all my Christmas stuff, so give you a quick look of that. So we've got little kind of stocking fillers. Then there's like big bars of chocolate in there, coins, candy canes. I'm literally going to drop it all over the floor now. So yes, that is my Christmas box. So we're going to put that back in there before I actually get it all over the place. Put those little bits back in there. And then this is just a big bag of icing sugar. I accidentally ordered this on Tesco's, but I actually needed it. But that's only 1 kg. I would usually buy 5. This one is 2 kg of sugar. Again, I'd usually buy about 4 in Silver Spoon, just the bigger bag, but they must have not had it because they sent me the smaller one. Then down here at the back, like I said, I've got my flour. These are just all my bowls. Any attachments that I don't use that often are in here because like the paddles I want to get to quicker. Then I've got a little funnel if I accidentally pour too much of something out. Then this is a little melting tray. So you put this on a saucepan and then you can put chocolate in it and heat it up, or milk if you need to do that for a recipe. This is a cake cutter. I never use it. I tried it once and I've never used it. If anyone knows how to get around those, I can't figure it out. Then I've got some cornflakes. They are tied up. That's why they're allowed to be on their side. But these are just for Rice Krispie cakes for Christmas. So that is all of my bigger ingredients in there. So we're gonna start in these drawers now. So in the top drawer, which is just lovely to look at, is all of my things that are, in terms of sweets and like biscuits, they're all nut free. And then I've got all my sprinkles here. I've got 2 random lemons because I didn't know where to put them. So in the back there, I've got some Dr. Oetker sprinkles that I don't really use. They're the bright and bold ones. Then I've got some Maltesers, the mint ones, some luster spray, Bourbons. If you're wondering, I either use the resealable tags that are on items already, or I sellotape them, put them together with a elastic band, or I put them in one of these bags. As you can see, it's in a little resealable bag. So that's the way that I keep my stuff fresh. So 2 lemons there, a little pack of Poppets, just a random one because it was left over from an order, Rolos, a new pack of Biscoff. Then these are some new packs of chocolate chips. Like I said, these are all sealed with elastic bands to keep them fresh. Here I've got some Percy Pig sealed. Then there's some new ones for Christmas. Then these is where I store all my sprinkles. These little trays are from Dunelm. So as you can see on the side, they've got little stickers which I put on myself. So you can actually buy the stickers from Dunelm as well. So yeah, I did those myself. One says clean and one says bits and bobs. So these sprinkles are from Tesco's. They're a new range. All these silver pearls, rose gold, gold crunch. This wedding mix is really good. The white one, I actually bought this from somewhere else for about £5, but they do it for £1 in there. It's half of the size, but obviously if you buy 2, then that's still only £2. Here are some bacon time cubs, sprinkles, and then again these are part of the new range. So yeah, I definitely recommend those sprinkles. They are so worth it. So that is the top drawer. Then in here is the fun one, or the one that looks better. So on this side we have all my sort of baking ingredients. So we've got plain flour. This is self-raising, so that's how I label it on the top. Self-raising flour contains wheat, so that I know that that is a gluten-free flour in there. But I move it from the big bag in that cupboard into this container because it isn't in a smaller bag. Then I have a smaller bag here because I needed to make sure it was vegan friendly. So I've got a smaller bag there. Then I've got some icing. So these are all sealed, as you can see, and it's labelled with may contain nuts so that I know that it has that. Then I've got some dark chocolate. This is vegan dark chocolate sealed with elastic band. And then here are all open fondants, so they're all in sealed bags and then labelled with the may contain nuts. Then I've got some baking powder. This isn't gluten-free, so anything that is gluten-free or not, I've put labels on it because a lot of it won't say. So this doesn't say whether it's gluten-free on it. I had to look online, so that's why I put the labels on there. Dr. Oetker, their bicarb and their baking soda is gluten-free, and it's also suitable for vegans. So that obviously says suitable for vegans on the side, so I don't need to label it, but it doesn't say it's gluten-free, so that's why I put it on there. And again, the same goes for all their cocoa powder, vegan, gluten-free. Then I've got some professional vanilla flavouring. So as you can see on the side, suitable for vegetarians, but it's not directed on the bottle as vegan friendly, so I have separate ones for that. And then I've got March 2021 as a sell-by. Biscoff. This doesn't have any like nut allergies or anything, so that doesn't need to be labelled, and it's fully sealed, so I can keep it in the same drawer. In here is where I keep my vegan vanilla extract, as you can see on the back, and then the Dr. Onka one is the one that is vegan and gluten-free. So this is lemon, but if you bought the same kind of packaging, and that's peppermint, but if you buy Dr. Onka, then that's gluten-free. Then in here we have all the nut products, so it's in this container again from Dunelm, this pink one, it's a bigger one. So we've got all my ingredients, and then anything that isn't obvious for containing nuts. So like obviously Kinder Bueno, which is underneath here, is hazelnut. I know that already, I don't need to sort of label it. But Boost is a may contain, so that goes in here. I either cater for nuts or like nut allergies, or I don't. So that's why everything that says may contain nuts and everything that does have nuts is in the same thing, because even if it's only may contain, they still can't have it. So it's either kind of a yes or a no sort of thing. Whereas I can look in here and go, yeah, they can have any of these items, but I will not give any of these because of the may contain. So there's Toblerone in there, all sorts, fudge pieces, Ferrero Rocher. So that is that one. So I just label with these little stickers, which you can get from eBay. Then in the bottom drawer is where I keep all my sort of miscellaneous. So we've got some parchment paper on a roll. So this is professional, so it's just a huge roll, as you can see there. And then it's got a little cutter on the side here, severed edge. Then I've got all my spreads, so chocolate spread. This is hazelnut spread, so I don't need to label it, but these two contain or may contain hazelnuts, so I've labelled it on the top. We've got gluten-free flour at the back, some little zip-up bags, some nozzles underneath there. These are all my moulds, and then here is my big stamper. Then I've got some royal icing, so that's gluten-free, but it's not vegan because the icing sugars aren't vegan. But the caster sugar is, so that's why I've put a label on there, because it can sometimes be confusing. All of Silver Spoon's products are gluten-free, just as a little tip. It says it on their FAQs, but yeah, they're all gluten-free, so definitely use those for gluten-free orders. Then I've got some coconut, so I've labelled it as coconut, because I did have one person that had a coconut allergy. Then we've got golden syrup here, some reusable bags, little Ziploc ones. These are the ones that I use for resealing, like where I put the Biscoff in there, stuff like that, and the fondant I put in here. So these are just from eBay. You can literally get them from anyone. This parchment paper is from Amazon. The Ziploc bags are from B&M. All of the moulds are from either eBay. This one is from Shichon, little chocolate bars, and the heart ones are from either eBay or Amazon as well. This was from Amazon. I definitely recommend this. It's a cutter, so it cuts it into a circle, and then it also stamps it at the same time. So that is all of the drawers. Don't think I forgot anything in there. So that is the worktop space. So I'll show you what's on top of the fridge in a minute, but we're going to go in the fridge first. So there's some personal shelves down there. My sister shares this fridge with me, but these two are sort of half and half baking, so it's got a few personal bits on it here, but I keep all of my nut allergy chocolate on here, even though they're all sealed bar one. And then I keep the vegan ones in packets if they're open. Then here I've got all my cooking chocolate. So on the left there, it's all nut-free because it's cooking chocolate, so they make sure that there's no nut allergens in there and the way it's processed and everything. So I've got some milk, dark and white chocolate there. Then I've got a milky bar on the top, which again is nut free. So these are all cooking chocolates from Tesco's. I get most of my ingredients from either Tesco's, rarely from really anywhere else. So yeah, those are the bacon chocolates. I've got some salted butter here, organic from Tesco's. Then I've got Stork. So I only use butter for my icing sugar. I don't use it for anything else. So the Stork I use in all my bakes as the main ingredient in terms of like the butter. Then this is Stork Block. So Stork Block, if you don't know, is gluten-free and it's also vegan if I can find it. So gluten-free and vegan. So yeah, if you're ever looking for a vegan alternative, I definitely recommend Stork Blocks, just because block butter is better for icing, whereas if you use tub butter like this for your icing, a lot of the time it separates and goes a bit limp, whereas block butter is always nicer to use. So those are the two shelves. Then I've just got my thermometer here. So I just leave that at the back there. So yeah, those are my two shelves. So that's the fridge. So up here I've got my drip bottle, but I don't actually use that anymore. I use a spoon. Then I've got a bowl at the back, my turntable. This is my cake dummy. And then in there I have some flowers, just some fake ones if I need any. So that's everything that's on top of there. So that's everything for this side. Then over here, I have my packaging. Please excuse Cleo, look how she's fast asleep. Look at that face. Aww. So here is my little storage unit. So this is kind of like the admin area. That's what I would class it as. So here, these are just some cake box extenders at the back here. And there's some more there. Then these are all my stickers, as you can see. Try and find one that's actually got some on it, yeah, like so. So they just go back in there. I've got a plain bit of grey card because I sometimes cut out for gift messages out of card. Then we have tissue paper all folded up. I've got a few Christmas bits for treat boxes to make them look pretty, some ribbon. These are little cards, so one of them is a business card, but then the rest are just cards that you get with cupcake boxes. So the cupcake boxes that I buy from B&M, you get little cards like this with them. So I just keep them in here so that if I wanted to, I could add a little card. I've got a block of post-it notes if I need to write down anything. Then in here is where I keep all my cake boards. So we've got a 12-inch at the bottom. These are 6-inch boards. So there's cake drums and there's cake boards. This is a cake board, as you can see, because it's really thin. So that's 6-inch. These are 8-inch and these are drums. So a drum is where it's got the thicker actual depth to it. So it makes it much more sturdy. Whereas these little boards I use for in-between cakes. So if you're doing a 2-tier cake, I always have it on a separate board and then cut a hole in it and then use the dowel to go through it so they're nice and thin. These are some Christmas boards that I've got. So these are actually boards. I thought that they were drums when I ordered them off Tesco's, but they'll be fine. So yeah, they're just patterned. Then here we've got some 4 boxes. So this fits 4 items in. They are for cupcakes. Those are the like holders, but you can just use them plain. And then these are my labels that I use to label everything. So they're just little circles and it's just a roll. Then under here there's more 10-inch boards, and these Christmas ones are 10-inch as well. This is a bulk pack bought from Cake Decorating Company. Then these Christmas ones are bought from Tesco's. These boxes are from Cake Decorating Company. These are just eBay. These thin boards are also eBay. These ones that are £1, these are from The Works. And then all my tissue papers are literally any craft store or like normal grocery store or anything sell them. My stickers are all from Etsy. All these ones are all from Etsy. The bigger ones are from Banana Print. My business cards are from Vistaprint, as you can see. So in here I have all my cake boxes. These are from Cake Decorating Company as well. So these are 8-inch, those are 10. Then I've got some Christmas packaging. So these I mentioned in my last coffee break. So these are from Amazon. These are just some cellophane kind of bags. Then we've got some translucent paper, which is Christmas decorated down there. So it's kind of like the logo paper where it's see-through. Then we've got different ribbons down here, fragile tape for postal orders. These are just some little tags, which are quite cute. These are my allergen stickers. So these are from eBay. Anything that has the 14 allergens on it is fine. And then also you kind of want an other as well, so that you can write in anything else. I always write may contain and then whatever it may contain, just in case it doesn't have the literal allergen in it. So then down here I've just got some wrap. It's just some floral wrap. We've got some postal labels for addresses. These are just some little thank you notes with Santa's on for Christmas. That is just a little letter that has been stuck in there. So that is all for this section. So it's just a little drawer unit that I have. So in terms of cleaning products, I don't store them near the food because as far as I'm aware you're not meant to. So I just have the wipes up there and the anti-bac, and then you come around here and by the sink, the communal sink, I just have my little box here. So there's other disinfectants which are used in the main kitchen, and then I have my own just so that I can make sure that they comply. So at the bottom here, on whatever spray you're using, it should say the BS 13697. I don't know if it'll focus there, but you can see where it says caution. And this is the Astonish from Aldi. Most of the own brand disinfectants will have the British standards on the back. Then I just have this little spritz. So I sometimes use this to actually spray the air, if that makes sense. I don't use it on surfaces just because it smells of lemon and mint, so it smells quite nice, and it kills bacteria, but it doesn't have any regulations on it. So I obviously don't want to spray it all over my surfaces if it doesn't comply, so I more so just use it to fragrance the kitchen. Then I have my cleaning cloth. This is a used one, and then I have all my new ones over here in that little container there. So I've got a couple of, these are kind of like towel materials which you can use to dry a surface. So if I wanted to wipe something down or dry it, they can also be used wet, I think. It's kind of like a towel, more like a flannel, I guess, but I don't use them very often. Then I've just got a little cleaning brush, and then I've got some Zaflora, which I use. You put it in the double sink, and then you can wipe the counters down with it. I use it on days where I'm not baking, because again, it's quite a strong scent, and it isn't British standard disinfectant, so I don't like to use it on days where I'm baking, so I use it on cleaning days. So that just goes there, and it just says cleaning on it, so it's quite cute. Then we're going to go through to my room because I have a little bit of overflow storage. So in my bedroom I've got these drawers underneath my bed. So I'm just going to move that. So this is where I store my boxes that I can't store anywhere else. So these are my brownie boxes. So as you can see, I've got about 20 left. Then I've got a few smaller ones here. I've got a number and letter tin here. This is a pre-made box that I have with a brownie tray in it. So they just go in there. And then I've got some more overflow boxes. So these are cupcake boxes for 2. I've got some spare trays which I haven't used. These are cellophane bags from eBay. Then I've got some postal bags, just blue postal bags, again from Amazon. And then I've got my 12 tray cupcake boxes, which are from Cake Decorating Company. And then I've got my foil trays, which are from Amazon. So this is just my overflow storage for stuff that I don't need on a daily basis. or stuff that I can get out all at once. So like the postal stuff, I would come in here, get all my cellophane bags out, get all my postal bags out, and then take it into the kitchen. So it means it can stay in here whilst I'm just baking during the day. And the same goes for these, whereas I like to have all the boards in the kitchen because I need a board as soon as I start making a cake, whereas the boxes you don't need until the last minute when you're packaging it up. So that is my under bed storage. I do have a third one, but I don't use that for baking stuff. So yes, that is my kitchen. So guys, that is my kitchen tour. I hope that that was helpful for any of you that just wanted to see what my kitchen was like. I am fully like hygiene rated, if that helps, because some people ask me questions about the way my kitchen looks because they're awaiting inspection and they want to know whether like their kitchen is up to par. So just in terms of that, I just wanted to quickly say that they know that when they're coming to a home kitchen, it's not going to be like a restaurant. But I mean, even some of the commercial kitchens you go into are probably, I would say, not as nice as my home kitchen, because I find that you keep your home kitchen a lot cleaner because you're there all the time. So yeah, I think don't worry too much in terms of the layout of your kitchen. Obviously make sure that everything is organised and everything is clean. But yeah, so I'm hoping that this will help people realise that, you know, my kitchen is just a normal kitchen, but I managed to get 5 stars. As long as you're organised and you label everything and it's just tidy, then yeah, they're happy with the way it looks. So yeah, I'm hoping that this was helpful. If you did want to know anything about any of the stuff in terms of where it's from, or any links, like if I miss anything out, so if you think I want to know where that's from, like I saw something in the video, then just comment down below and I'll respond straight away, because yeah, I think I had to go back a few times because I forgot to mention where things were from. So yeah, let me know if I missed anything, fingers crossed. I wanted to quickly say, because I'm looking at it, so it reminded me, but this planner was from Aldi, and as you can see, it's got loads of pages and you just tear them off, so that's really, really good for like planning your week. But yeah, I think I've covered everything, fingers crossed. So yes, I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!